In a world of give and take, poetry might be one of the few things which takes the entirety of a poet's being and then never stops giving. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. The complex algorithms of giving. Some will seek consolations in feelings which bleed. Some will give a peace as small as their heart. Some will light a little lamp and call it a floodlight. Some will puzzle over this despair and stay numb to feeling. And I ask of you, as you stand serene, don't you get tired of it all? Don't you? Some will turn their backs to any entreaty you bring, even when you only ask them to clean the mess they leave. Some will be keen to fight the battle of life with you, but they ask you to lead the way and then they stay behind. And I ask of you, as you stand serene, don't you get tired of it all? Don't you? So take my hand, which may not be as strong as your will. Could I do something minuscule to keep your faith in man? As you seek to give each smile its owner, as you bring life to the mere living, is there one joy I could wrench from my heart, so there's a heartbeat in you which comes from me? So I ask of you, as you stand serene, can I walk some steps of this road with you? So I ask of you, as you stand serene, can I walk some steps of this road with you? People may love to give, but they hate being asked to give. It's almost as if there's something accusatory about being asked to be generous, as if so far you weren't, and here comes this person saying gently but firmly, why don't you at least do it now? It's not that people can't give. They can and they do. But there's generally a calculation, a quick mental reconciliation of give and take, of subjective and objective returns, and a decision which is derivative. If the net result is a dopamine high, go for it, else prevaricate. More insidious are the false promises, people who can't say no on the face because they are feckless and can't face their own truths and enunciate them. These are people who can, who should, but won't. They fudge, they lie, they want the proposal to die out of sheer tiredness. But what about the time a person is duty-bound to lend a hand, when morally, as a countryman, as a co-citizen, a co-human, as someone who speaks out against injustice, as someone who commiserated, who shed tears about what can and what should be rectified, what about such a person? What do you do with them when they refuse to reach out or reach in? In the schemata of life, one needs to simply go on and ask, show, talk, make aware, and then again, show, talk, make aware. Often change comes in tiptoes. It enters hearts like a whisper, unheralded, suddenly. A continuous litany of no's suddenly opens a corridor of acceptance, asking you to walk in. Why does it happen? Why does a person change? What makes a person change? Deep within the complexity of our beings lies the tenderness of our essential goodness. We often ourselves don't know our mind or its mindfulness. Even as a person seems to be close to us, there's a quiet awareness, a forever openness. And it requires a happenstance, a feeling, an experience, a sharing, a word, an unsolicited kindness to suddenly open the person up. The revelation is not of a change of heart, but a revelation that the heart always existed. All that this inherent goodness requires sometimes is a mirror to go behind the facade and show the person that he's a much better person than he himself knew. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you were listening to Uncut Poetry. Did you enjoy what you heard? Rate me on Spotify or leave a comment on Apple Podcasts. Follow Uncut Poetry on Ghana, JioSaavn, or anywhere you get your podcasts from. And if you love this episode, why not share it with someone you love? See you next week.